children, your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren. I'm very, very happy at this occasion, and I'm proud to be a great-grandfather, great-grandfather. Anything else? Thank you very much.
To dream the impossible dream, to fight the unbeatable foe, to bear with unbearable sorrow, to run where the brave cannot go, to right the unrightable wrong, to love pure and chaste from afar, to try the wrongs of too weary, to reach the unreachable star. This is my quest, to follow that star, no matter how hopeless, no matter how far, and to fight for the right without question or pause, to be willing to march into hell for a heavenly cause. And I know if I'll only be true to this glorious quest, that my heart will lie peaceful and calm when I'm laid to my rest. And the world will be better for this, that one man, scarred and covered with scars, still strove with his last and of courage to reach the unreachable star.
We're here this morning to celebrate my father's 90th birthday. A true milestone in anyone's life that few attain. And I know that because I went looking for a birthday card for a 90-year-old.
Not around here.
You should know, as my dad said this morning, that we did give him many choices of where and how to celebrate this big occasion. I don't remember a safari coming up, but I do remember that we offered going on a family cruise, which he turned down. We offered going downtown Miami and going to a fancy hotel like the Fontainebleau and the Eden Rock, which he was not interested in. So what he did is he chose to be here with you. You guys must really be special. I read somewhere, or someone told me, that a true friend is someone that feeds your soul. So on behalf of all the people here in the front table, we thank you for enriching the lives of our parents and for feeding their souls. That's for you. Thank you. I'd like to take a few moments and introduce you to the head table, because this is all family. And when I introduce you, raise your hand so everybody knows who you are. I'm Michael. I'm the firstborn. I'm here with my bride of 40 years, Sylvia, and my son, Aaron. We're from Scottsdale, Arizona. Second born is my sister, Deborah Marks. She's here with her husband, Jules, and they're from Chicago. They're here with Eitan, their son, who's here with Nakama, his wife. Sarah is Nakama's mother, and Ann is also here, and that's Nakama's aunt. Alana is here from New York. Welcome. Last born, and favorite. Oh, and two grandchildren, great-grandchildren. I'm getting there. Last born and favorite is my brother Daniel. And his bride, Joanne. They're here with all their children. Ari from Detroit, Naomi from Detroit, and Elisheva, who comes in from New York. Did I miss anybody? We got everybody. Okay. Again, we hope to meet everyone sometime today. Please feel free to come up, introduce yourself to everybody. We want to see what makes you all so special. Now, I will tell you that my father's a difficult man to buy a present for. Material things are just not that important to him. Most of my gifts are returned and I find a credit on my Visa card again. If you look in the parking lot, you'll see an older model car. If you look in his closet at home, you'll find pants that were installed sometime when Reagan was president. And I'm not going to even talk about socks and underwear. But there is something that's very important to my father, and I'm going to try to paraphrase his thoughts. And that is that Judaism should be passed down from generation to generation in a strong, unbroken chain. With this thought in mind, his children have dedicated a Torah breastplate in his honor to the shul. We hope that the following generations shall read the inscription and see how important Jewish tradition and life was to my father.
Actually, this next song is a surprise, because when Sam first met Muriel, I'm sure that this is what he was thinking. It's now or never, come hold me tight, kiss me my darling, be mine tonight, tomorrow will be too late, it's now or never, my love won't wait. When I first saw you, with your smile so tender, my heart was captured, my soul surrendered. I spent a lifetime waiting for the right time. Now that you're near, the time is here at last. It's now or never, come hold me tight, kiss me my darling, be mine tonight, tomorrow will be too late, it's now or never, my love won't wait. Just like a willow, we would cry at an old show if we lost true love and sweet devotion. Your lips excite me, let your arms invite me, for who knows when we'll meet again this way. It's now or never, come hold me tight, kiss me my darling, be mine tonight, tomorrow will be too late, it's now or never, my love won't wait. 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 Thank you. Thank you so much. So you remember those old days?
Oh, sure.
And look what happened from all those old days, this wonderful, beautiful family.
Yeah, right.
Thank God. You should live and be well. 120 years. Amen. Both you and Muriel.
Amen.
And the entire family. That's right, the entire family as well.
So, a mother and her 5-year-old son go into the bakery. And the mother says to her son, who's a very precocious, smart little guy, who's turning 5 that day, she says to him, "Son, today's your 5th birthday. Go pick a cake that you'd like. We'll take it home, and we'll light the candles, and we'll celebrate your birthday." So the boy gets very excited. He goes to every display case, looks in them, presses his nose against the glass, and is looking. And he's a very smart little guy, and he says to his mom, "I think I'd like that one." So they choose that one, and she says, "Okay, now go over to where the candles are and select 5 candles, and we'll put the candles in the cake. We'll go home, we'll celebrate your birthday." So the boy goes over to where the candles are, and he's thinking, and he's thinking, and he's thinking. He goes up to his mom, and he says, "Mom, how about if we take one candle and put it in 5 different cakes?" I was thinking, what if that little boy was my dad? Can you imagine there'd be 90 cakes here today? And what a vision that would be. Most of us are familiar with the phrase recited upon entering the synagogue, taken from the Midbar, the book of Numbers, that goes, "Ma tovu halecha Yisrael." How goodly are your tents, O Jacob, your dwelling place, O Israel. The sages interpret this phrase of Israel as a reference to its tents of learning and prayer. In a deeper sense, the Jewish home achieves its highest level when it incorporates the values of synagogue and study hall. This is the first of many verses in our prayers that express our love and reverence for the synagogue, and the absence of the Beit Hamikdash is the place where God's glory resides among us. What better place, as my brother said, is there to honor and celebrate my father than here in his synagogue, a place that's meant so much to him. As the Torah is placed back in the ark in the shul this morning, we again sing God's praises when we say these words from Mishlei, from the book of Proverbs, Eitz Chaim Hi. It's a tree of life for those who grasp it, and its supporters are praiseworthy. Its ways are ways of pleasantness, and all its paths are peace. This call to Israel teaches us that the Torah is our most precious possession. Its teachings are both simple and complex, obvious and hidden, understandable and perplexing. It's our blueprint for life. But why do we compare the Torah to a tree? Why don't we compare it to a lion, the king of the animals, or to a mountain that majestically soars upwards? Why a tree? Well, perhaps it's because a tree has 3 main parts: its roots, its trunk, and its branches. The roots give the tree its strength, enabling it to withstand storms and adversity. They allow the tree to receive nutrients necessary for growth and development. How would we describe the trunk? The trunk is the outgrowth of the roots. It's what's first visible to the eye. It's the trunk that provides the tree its stability, its ability to grow, prosper, and mature. And the branches? Well, the branches grow and spread over time, producing the seeds that will ensure its future, and that they will eventually reproduce and begin the cycle all over again. In our family, it's easy to equate my father with Torah. He epitomizes that holy and sacred tree. His roots are deep, they're strong, and have always been able to withstand storms and adversity. The home he created with my mom was one that nurtured our children, my brother and my sister's growth and development. I can vividly recall the many, many hours spent with my dad, my mom, my brother, sister, my grandparents, my aunts and uncles in the shul, surrounded by them on Shabbos and on Yom Tov. His trunk, my father's stability, provided my siblings and I the environment by which to grow and mature and prosper. His leadership taught us to face challenges without fear, to be active in our own communities, and to be dedicated and involved parents. As for the branches, well, they certainly have spread. All of your seeds, both those that are present and those who are unable to attend and celebrate with us today, join me in expressing our gratitude to Hashem, to the God that you taught us not to forsake. We are grateful for these 90 years that you have been blessed with, and that you have been privileged to see your branches spread, produce beautiful fruits and seeds, and see the cycle begin again and again and again. When one celebrates their birthday, it's usually usual and customary for the celebrant to receive birthday presents. Choosing the perfect gift, as my brother said, is a challenge that we've attempted to meet head on. What can we possibly give you, Dad? That would be a fitting expression of our love, admiration, and gratitude. So on behalf of your children, Michael and Sylvia, Debbie, Jules, Joanne, and I, along with your grandchildren and great-children, we would like to present you a kosher, a breastplate to adorn and enhance your beloved tree of life. Dad, you've enhanced our lives with your wisdom, your generosity, and your homiletic expressions. Our lives have been enriched with your longevity. We, your children, are fortunate that our children have been able to reap the benefits of having you as their Savior. The tree you planted, nurtured, and grew is their ultimate link to their past, their present, and to the future. May we only know Simchas in the future. May you live to be 120. Dad, we inscribed this presented on the occasion of the 90th birthday of Samuel Gotlib by his children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren. February 23rd, 2012, Rosh Chodesh Adar 5772.
I was asked to do a couple of songs, but you look like you're waiting for something else. Okay, you know what? I have something where we can all be part of. Now I'm just wondering if Sam would be kind enough. Would you like to be kind enough to take part in this a little bit?
Sure will.
Okay, come on up. Now what about Muriel? You want Muriel to
What are
take
you going to do?
No?
What are you going to do?
You have a little part in this song.
Okay.
Is there anyone in the family that you say has had any experience in public speaking and in doing an amateur show or something like that?
He is.
In comedy? Anyone in comedy?
Sorry.
Where's
Ari?
Ari?
He's taking pictures.
Oh.
How did I just get thrown under the bus by everybody?
You know what? Ari's the perfect one.
All right.
I can see it right now. Come on up. Okay, so we'll have Sam and Ari.
For an occasion like this, he'll do that.
Okay. Okay, now, first I have to teach you your part. Okay, Sam, you stand over here.
It's not dangerous.
No, it's not dangerous. We're going to have a good time. Now, this song is called Ani Ma'ami Mashiach. Maybe you've heard it before. Now, when I go, Mashiach, 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 you're going to go, ay, 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 ay. Let's hear it. Ay, 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 ay. Terrific. See, he's got it already. We're going to try it one more time. Now, we do that twice. And then Ari does it twice. So let's do it your second time. Mashiach, Mashiach, Mashiach. Ay, 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 ay. There you go. He's got it. Now, Ari, your part. When I do it the second. I go, Mashiach, Mashiach, Mashiach. Ay, 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 ay. No, but not with your right hand. Left hand. I got hit in the ribs one time. It still hurts. I wear a protector right. Ay, 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 ay. Left hand. Ay, 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 ay. Let's hear it. Ay, 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 ay. Very good, he's got it. Okay, now, I'm going to put the music on. Don't forget your part now. It'll sound different though. Okay, now. Ay, 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 You did beautifully. You see, Sam, you had a good time. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, Ari. You're stars. Now they're stars within the family. The head star and the grandson star.
I'm here to honor and celebrate the leader of our clan. He is proud to be known as an iconoclastic man. You know him as the man you see today, yet we know him in a very different way. We'll start long ago when I was just 13 months old, and along came my little brother Daniel to join the fold. Mom's nights were busy now that there was a new baby in the house. She was worried about abandoning little Debbie, so up steps her spouse. So my dad stepped up to the plate and said, we'll each take one. So I became my father's responsibility, and whatever I needed, he made sure it was done. How do children learn that Judaism should be a central part of their future? An example or a picture is always the best teacher. Every morning as we ate breakfast before we ran off to school, there was our tefillin-clad dad sitting and davening on his stool. I still remember the ancient-looking siddur that he turned page by page. Half the pages were a fraction, and the rest were yellow with age. You knew by the appearance he had to know the prayers by heart. It was to this next generation that this tradition he wanted to impart. As we grew, it was with Mom that we discussed the events of our life, but they were her team, and she shared our conversations as a most devoted wife. Then came the grandchildren, and he was known as a terrible tease. Often they complained to Bubby, Zadie is making trouble. Can you please help us, please? After all that teasing, and now that they have grown, they have each developed with their Zadie a very special relationship of their own. This year you were able to hold a great grandchild at his breast, an honor that Eitan was able to bestow as we welcomed him into the covenant that you introduced us to so long ago. So to you, L'chaim, and we thank you and we love you. To 120 may we share simchas and not just a few.
Now we've heard from Sam and each of our children, and as Paul Harvey used to say, this is the rest of the story. Although I was from New York, I had a college girlfriend in Michigan, and Sam was her brother. This was long before cell phones and iPads. and I began corresponding with Sam. And that correspondence led to the chuppah. Writing was my lucky charm, and I didn't want to give up on a good thing. So I continued writing for the next 60-some years. We wrote on birthdays, anniversaries, milestone occasions, and sometimes just for fun. Many young people, and sometimes not such young people, have asked me continually, how can you be married to the same man for so many years and still find it interesting? The truth is, I don't think I could be married to the same man for such a long time and be delighted with it. But that is the miracle. He is not the same man. He has changed in very many real ways, so frequently that it has been a challenge and an adventure in writing to him through the years, as well as living with him. It's as like you were having a pen pal that changed from year to year, and a new roommate many few years. Sam's sister told me that as a teenager, he wanted to improve his dancing skills. So he would use a pillow as a partner, turn on the make-believe ballroom, and dance around the living room. Just a few years after that, when I met him, he was a fabulous dancer. As a young man in his 20s, Sam and his friends would golf on Sunday mornings in Flint. But a few years later, he went back to his first love, tennis, which he had played in the schoolyard in junior high school and high school. And when he retired, he was still playing tennis, which he continued to do at Aberdeen. In fact, the captain of his team at Aberdeen, his tennis team, Fred Sachs, is here today with his lovely wife, Bobby. You all know that professionally, Sam was a dentist until he retired. But in midlife, he developed another interest, building and real estate, and he pursued that as an avocation for many years. Judaism is especially its history and philosophy, has been an ongoing interest for Sam. But lo and behold, in his late 60s, this interesting man became a mystic. His fascination was Kabbalah, and he would travel from Flint to Detroit some 60 miles once a week to study with a great teacher. At that point, I gave him a new title. When I wrote to him that year, he always thought of himself humbly as an everyman, an ordinary citizen, not a chief, just an Indian. But his new title was, and still is, the extraordinary, ordinary man. And indeed, he still is. And that's the rest of the story. And now, I want to conclude with Cantor Grossman, who will add his tributes to Sam with song from the current Make-Believe Ballroom. Songs that directed by what we all know that we have learned about Sam, the extraordinary, ordinary man.
Celebrate! Here we go. Okay, we know members of the family have done this before. Right? Now's the time. Come on, don't be shy. Oh,